Hey everyone, and welcome to another episode with Candid Founders. I'm Andy and this is Lucy.
Hi.
And today we're going to be talking about point of sale stands. I'm sure a lot of people are talking about wholesale these days now that marketing is getting more and more expensive. And one of the key parts that we need to consider was our proposition for wholesalers and in particular our point of sale stands. So we previously had some cardboard ones and now we're looking to upgrade them. And so this week it's been pretty busy going out to different wholesalers, seeing what they want, and then also going out to point of sale stand manufacturers. So we wanted to kind of share what we're doing with that, talk to you about, I guess, the process so far, and see what everyone else has to think.
Yeah, because it's a really important one because it's also quite a big commitment in terms of spend because we need to get a load of stands out. So I think, I think I bought like 200 point of sale, those cardboard point of sale stands when we started. So that was like a few grand ready to drop just to get the point of sale stands in to start with. But they've done really well. And I think we should also talk about how we sell them or how we give them away to customers, because I feel like different companies do different things, but if it can be quite daunting going from a D2C product business where all you need to consider is like the packaging around the socks in our case and just getting out to a customer in the post.
Product photography. That's
it. But now you've really got to think about how you build your product for shops. So I should take it as a step back, and it started with just adapting the packaging. So we made it into hanging packaging. We put barcodes on the back. Like we went through that process of like making sure it was fit for retail. Then we went through and we got these cardboard stands, and we've got a few of those left, but now we're looking to upgrade our proposition even further because we're so keen on wholesale this year. And so we're looking at wooden stands, which is, again, another commitment in terms of cost, but I think for us it's going to be worth the investment.
Yeah, absolutely. And so where we got to, maybe it's an upgrade, but maybe it's also a continuation because I think there is still room for those cardboard stands. They did fill a need. They continue to fill a need if you've got a market that you want to, take your socks to and you don't want to pick up.
Yeah, they're quite light and transportable.
Exactly. So there's definitely an element there. I quite like the way of thinking about it like that. So yeah, we started to look at upgrading and getting out some more point of sale stands. We initially started, like everyone does, online through our good friends in Alibaba and China, and we just found the communication was quite hard to do. We wouldn't get really clear answers. We'd ask a question and we'd be sent back a catalog. We'd ask another question, we'd get sent back the same catalog. And I think we're asking for a relatively decent amount of from like at least a money perspective to be able to get a level of service where you can communicate with someone. Yeah. And so we weren't able to find that on Alibaba, but that's which is a shame. And it's also harder to compete from a shipping standpoint as well. So obviously being in the UK, it takes potentially a few months and a decent amount more money to actually ship them across. So we started looking domestically within the UK and also I think abroad in Turkey as well. And it just came back. We kept finding that the right balance of price, ecological, being able to speak to someone and being able to do designs through that's all in the same person. We're just able to do that all onshore. So it's actually the first time we've been able to find like an onshore manufacturing partner that's going to be cheaper than offshore.
Yeah, I was like pleasantly surprised because immediately the communication is better. It's obviously you're on the same time zone, so you can just pick up the phone and it is easier. So from the start, I was like, okay, great. Like we're just going to have to see how the pricing comes back because it does come down to price. Like if we can't make this work on a sustainable cost level, then we need to find another option. But they came back with pricing and I was like, oh, that's a lot cheaper than I thought it would be. So it is still expensive, but it's a model that we can make work because it is in like a valuable side of the business to us. So we're looking at giving these stands out on a order size basis. So I don't think we've fully discussed or worked out what that looks like yet, but we're considering, order X amount of socks and you get a stand included, or here is the price of a stand if you want to buy one. So it's still like an asset to us, as it were.
Yeah, absolutely. And we are considering it all. I think with the ones we got from China that were in cardboard, I think we did that for half cost price, or maybe it was for cost price exactly without shipping. And that was probably the right model because I didn't feel super super confident on, you know, the longevity of the product, given that it was cardboard. Although I think it's probably the best you can get through cardboard.
Yeah, it was pretty sturdy, and it definitely, you know, unless you're getting it in the rain, it's going to be fine for a while. But it definitely doesn't fit the bill for like if you've got a boutique or something, just something where you've got like a lot of considerable stands already. And we know other brands. You know, if we take Happy Socks as a huge sock provider, for example, we know they have consistent branding on their stands everywhere, and it's like a good solid stand. So we kind of see that as the next good step for us if we're going to try and compete in this world.
Yeah, absolutely. And so that's what we did. We went out, we found this British-based company. I'm sure they wouldn't mind. It's POS Displays. They've got some great ecological credentials behind them, FSC certified, etc. And so we went up to them in Leicester, and Beth and I went there for the day, and what we were able to do in 3 hours was just ridiculous in comparison to
just tornado their shop.
Just tornado. It was a bit mental. We went through, saw everything about how they did all of their printing, how they do their cutting, where all the wood comes through, how it's stored, even some competitors' you know, sock stands, which were similar, but, you know, maybe different markets. We were able to kind of see everything that was going on there, and that was really helpful. And then we ended up getting everything just on like a big table, and we said, okay, what sizes do you do, not just for socks, but across the entire market, and why do you do it? And just got a download from 2 experts that just ran us through everything. So we're going to have everything from one sock size all the way up to a floor standing unit.
Yeah.
So counter display units and floor standing units. And we're going to have ones that spin. We're going to have ones that are double-sided, one that's one-sided. And we've also got the ability to hopefully in the future look at more of the, you know, really small kind of strut ones, which would just be one sock, all the way up to like a Christmas tree, which would be really exciting.
Which would be so sick. That's like my like John Lewis dream, like a Christmas tree of our socks in John Lewis. So if anyone who works in the buying team for John Lewis is listening, you know where to find us. But yeah, and I think what was really valuable about you guys going up there was how quickly you managed to get all that bashed out, whereas back and forth on it, doing that on email, I think would have taken weeks.
Yeah, weeks. It was so stupid. I don't know why we didn't get a call in sooner rather than later. Like,
yeah.
And you know, I just called the guy and he was so helpful. I got him at like 4:30 on a Friday afternoon, and he said, "I'm going out tonight, so yeah." Can you? And I kept asking him, "Do you have any more time for questions?" And he's like, actually such a nice guy, and he's like, "Yeah, okay, fine." And then we spoke to him then on that Monday when we went in with him, and we just went through it like a ton of bricks. And I think probably the thing I'm most excited about is be able to see also like the different colors and how that works. And one of the things working in a remote business is you just forget, I think at some points, that being face-to-face is just so much better in so many ways. So the bandwidth of, you know, information we were able to take on within that day, so much more than what we could have done. Yeah, like you said on email.
And it was so fun for you guys. Like, you were buzzing when you came back. Like, point of sale day.
Woo!
Yeah, it literally was a school trip. So super valuable. And so we're now going through sampling process because there were a few different types of wood and colours of wood and colours of like the ink and things that we wanted to test out. So yes, do recommend going through the sampling process. Like, there's obviously a cost to that involved that's higher than price per unit than you would if you just went and bought like 50 of them, but so valuable for us because maybe in person we'll decide there's one that we actually really don't like, and they've been rendered up, so we've seen a digital copy of all of them, and we kind of have different preferences, I feel, and so do our customers, and so do some friends. So I think everyone has kind of said, yeah, I like the white one or I like the wooden one, and I'm not sure if we've got like a dark wood one which looks smart, but I'm not sure if we'll be able to read our branding on it. So I think we absolutely have to get samples in. So when are we getting them?
Yeah, so samples should be with us in the next like week or two.
Exciting.
Paid for them. I've done our credit application, everything. So I think it's we'll show you guys what they look like. Hopefully they look amazing.
Yeah.
And we'll take it from there.
Expect nothing less.
So yeah, I think that's everything for this podcast. What do you
I
reckon?
think so. Yeah, this is just another little soundbite of what's going on in the business, and we'll let you guys know how it goes. Because I think we would have benefited of listening to something like this before we went into this process. So that is why we're doing this. So yes, if you have any questions, if you're going through the process of like trying to get into wholesale and working out what your merchandising proposition looks like or anything like that, drop us a comment, and we'll come back to you. We're happy to help.
Very good. Thanks, everyone.
All right,
like,
thanks.
subscribe, and follow for more.
Whoop, whoop.
See you later.